What in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, man? It's your boy Big Low Country. I hope that everybody out there is doing great tonight. For everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. Man, it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been about 2-3 weeks since the last time we had a chance to sit down and chop it up. But we're here now, and I definitely and greatly appreciate y'all for coming on and chopping it up with us. First of all, if you're watching the show after we've gone live already, make sure that you put a what in the world Bo in the comments. I would definitely and greatly appreciate that. We want to know where the love is coming from. Also, second of all, make sure that you hit that like button and also share the channel with your friends and family. If you do that for me, I promise you, I'll dance at your wedding one day. We got a few things that we need to talk about because, like I said, it's been about 3 weeks since the last time we had a chance to chop it up. So, we gonna go ahead and dive on into this thing. Go ahead and dive on in. In the words of Trey Songz, I'm about to dive it. We better dive on in here. First of all, let me show love to everybody that's showing love to me. About whatever's in here says top 3 defense this year. What? Top 10 offense with the Super Bowl trip. Hello. That's what I'm talking about, Bo. Grandizer in here says, happy belated 4th of July, Coach Big Low Country and Coach Roney. Home of the what's in this man's cup is in this man's cup. You already know, Bo. Your middle faith Jamal says, rise up. Yo, yo, yo. What it do, Bo? What's good, everybody? I hope y'all had a great second. Big Low, go ahead and give me the lowdown. You already know what time it is, Bo. You know how we doing it. Definitely. Let me give you the lowdown. You already know it, man. You already know it. Grandizer in here, appreciate you. Plugging everything for us. J Miles in here. What in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Tyler Russell, what's going on, Coach? Rockman's in here. Much love, much love. J Miles in here. I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill. I know y'all was dancing to that song back in the day. About whatever says Bird Gang of Step, man. You already know what time it is, man. You already know. You already know. So look, we got a few things that we're going to talk about. First, we're going to talk about well, not in this particular order. We're going to talk about this the last video that we put out talking about Ryan Nielsen. And how he's going to help propel this defense to a top 10 defense with his proactive coaching style. We're also going to talk about what we're going to learn from OTAs and from training camp this year. We're going to pretty much talk about and I hate to beat a dead horse into the ground and run it over with a Chevy truck because I definitely wouldn't do that with a Ford. I'm seriously trying to figure out why in the world is everybody just selling the Falcons short in every aspect. Desmond Ridder, the 40th best quarterback in the league? What in the world? The backup, Taylor Heineke, is listed better than him? Where do we get this from? Arthur Smith, 29th coach in the league? This is ridiculous. So, we're going to talk about a few things. So, first of all, if you had a chance to watch the video that we put out last week, as a matter of fact, I think we put it out last Wednesday. If you watched the video that we did about Ryan Nielsen, if you could put a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. If you had a chance to watch that video, talking about how Ryan Nielsen is going to help this Atlanta Falcons defense get the top 10 in the league. If you had a chance to watch that, please put a 1 in the chat. I would definitely and greatly appreciate it. If not, first of all, you need to go watch it. It's a great piece of media. Great piece of media. Thank you so much, Coach Roney, for all of your beautiful editing skills. Much love to you. Much love to Coach Roney for, having the old coach where he need to be at all the time. I definitely appreciate you, sweetheart. Dread's in here. What's going on, man? What's going on? Much love to the coaching staff. Granddad says Big Low with a good save. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all. So, I know y'all probably like, dang, where Coach Low been? I'll be completely honest with you. I was in Vegas last week. Last week I was in Vegas. We had a good time. Probably too good of a time because I'm just starting to get my bearings. It was a crazy week. You know what I say? Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I don't know if it's a situation where, I guess your money stay in Vegas too, because we spent a lot of money while we was out there, bro. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Definitely. What's going on, Coach Rody? That ball is beautiful. Okay, I hear you, bro. D Lawton's in here. Much love, D. So let's see. Everybody said that they seen the video. D Lawton, Zone Falcon, Grandizer, Coach Tyler Russell, Coach Padres in here. Much love to you. Young boys in here. Young boy. About whatever. So basically, what we were talking about Ryan Nielsen. We actually went back and looked at some of his tape whenever he was at North Carolina State. Shouts out to North Carolina State for providing that great film for us. And we were just looking at his proactive coaching style. And, every defensive coordinator, especially defensive line coach, they have certain ways, that basically that's their signature move. That's their go-to move. Right. So, I mean, mine was the push and pull. So I'm grabbing this outside shoulder, I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to get skinny and get around. As you can see, Coach Ryan Nielsen's his was that rip/club and flip the hips around, But basically, the way that he was teaching that defense at North Carolina State, and you've seen it transcend to the New Orleans Saints. And actually, a lot of people don't know this. LSU was trying to get Coach Ryan Nielsen. But the way that we seen it transcend, and we seen that defense go to new heights. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, Dennis Allen, he's a good defensive coach." What did Dennis Allen do when he was with the Raiders? He didn't do nothing, Bo. He didn't do nothing, right? He did the same amount as I don't know, somebody who's in an R&B group that don't do too much. He did the same amount of them when it came to what they did in Vegas. But meanwhile, whenever Ryan Nielsen came to the New Orleans Saints, that defense took a whole nother step, and it was predicated on that defensive line. And that's what the Atlanta Falcons are trying to get right at. I was just watching, shouts out to Berto, Smitty, and Ricondo. I was just watching those guys over there, and I think Ricondo or Berto made a good point where he said, "Hey, man, it's one of those situations where we haven't had a defense to get 49 sacks since 2004. 2004? I had just graduated. 2004? It's 2023 now. We're going on 20 years. We're going on 20 years. This is ridiculous. So hopefully it's going to be one of those situations where that defense takes the next step. So if y'all had a chance to watch it, make sure that you watch it. Another thing that we're actually going to touch on, in the world, Coach Low Poupon. What? Okay, all right. The J Balls here said, "You remember how Mike Davis ran?" Yes, I remember how Mike Davis ran the ball, Coach. But the thing is, another thing that we're talking about tonight is, what are we going to learn? And we've learned a little bit from OTAs, right? We've done some videos on it. But what are we going to learn from OTAs and training camp and the preseason? What is that going to tell us about our Atlanta Falcons team this year? You might say, "Hey, Coach, why do you ask that question?" I'm going to tell you something. Every year, before the season starts, where we're doing summer workouts, first of all, everybody never shows up for summer workouts, right? Everybody never shows up for summer workouts. Shouts out to Molly Mall, came in here naked. Thing is that whenever you get to those OTAs, those mandatory OTAs or mini camps, whenever you start getting to those first days of practice before school starts, you learn about your team. And it can be there's so many things that change from whenever they stop playing in high school, from November, or in some cases December, to that next August. There's so many things that change. Guys come and go, testosterone levels peak, guys break up with girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Some new guys move there. Some guys get knocked back on the depth chart. Some guys get pushed up. And when that happens, we start to see what direction this team is going to take. There have been some situations where it's like, I've had teams where I know, and I'm not trying to pick on this team or nothing, but I know that team just didn't have as much dog in them. I mean, they had a dog in them, but it was a poodle. miniature poodle. It wasn't no Rottweiler kind of dog. I mean, there's been times where I just seen that, those guys, they just didn't have that edge. There's been some teams that I seen, hey, I know to motivate them is the way to motivate them is I have to tell them, hey, I don't know if you can do this. I mean, you got to show me you can do it. Different teams have different ways of communicating and have different motivating factors. Wait a minute, we got our first Superman chat of the night. Mike Jenks says, "What in the world, Bo? Hashtag fly Eagles fly. What? What in the world? You in the wrong dirty bird game." Shouts out to you, Mike, man. Much love to you, Bo. Also, Coach Padre says, "Hey, Coach, when are y'all? When are you all clean shaven? We're gonna call you by your government name, Lozip of Country. Hello, I hang up and listen. What in the world? Lozip of Country? Wow." First of all, Mike Jink, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Also, Coach Padre, you already know what time it is. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Also, we got Jordan Brooks in here. Says the Eagles had more sacks last year than we did in the past 2 to 3. Come on, Coach. You come on. You didn't have to say that. Shouts out to my homeboys from Out of Your Falcon Mind, man. Much love to my boys over there, man. Great content. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Coach Ron says you probably saw us then, Jamal. I'm so mad we missed each other. Wait a minute, J Mal was out there in Vegas too. Okay, then J Mal, I see you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Was J Mal in the Bellagio? We was in the Bellagio. Last week, it was the Bellagio Low. That's what it was last week. Anyway, basically the point that I was making is, what kind of team is this Atlanta Falcons team going to be? What is it going to be? Last year, it's like, the last 2 years, we just been in survival mode, right? You got these rookies that they just come in and play because we legit don't have no better option. We have no better option. So, I mean, we just literally been in survival mode. So moving forward, what type of team is this Atlanta Falcons team going to be? And y'all in the comments, y'all make sure that y'all let me know what y'all think, what kind of team this Atlanta Falcons team is going to be. But I'm going to tell you, I think this Atlanta Falcons team is going to be opportunistic, gritty, smart, disciplined. I think this Atlanta Falcons team is going to be one of those cases because if you think about this, you got all of this young talent. Last 3 years, you got offensive players. The first 3 rounds. I mean, the first round, you got offensive players. You got your Kyle Pitts. You got your Drake Londons. You got your Bijan Robinsons. Right? Everybody was like, hey, can Arthur Smith actually draw up a passing game? I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've wondered myself. I'm like, hey, is it something that he can do, or is he just saying, hey, I'm not gonna blow my wad because why do it now? We don't even know if Marcus Mariota could get the ball to him. Why do it? Now, let's be honest. Passing game didn't look that bad with Matt Ryan. Question is, was it Matt Ryan or was it Arthur Smith? I've been to tell you, this young Falcons team, these young Thundercats, mixed up with these wily veterans, you got to take advantage of your opportunities. Think about it. Clark Phillips, he's in 2017, in 2018, Clark Phillips would have been a starter easily. Easy. Not now. The only way Clark Phillips is going to step on that field, because I'm pretty sure y'all seen D. Offers. Y'all seen his tape the other day, right? When he was running around here looking cut up like Optimus Prime, running these DB drills. I'm sitting here like, I don't know if Clark Phillips going to see the field. Jeff Okudah, you're going to have to do your thing. D. Offer, you're going to have to do your thing. Clark Phillips, y'all all going to have to do your thing. It's making these guys hungry. Zach Harrison, think about it. Zach Harrison, had a very illustrious college career for Ohio State. I'm sorry if it sounds disrespectful if I don't say the Ohio State, but he had a very illustrious career with Ohio State. But I'm going to tell you something. Now, you got this young Thundercat. He's sitting behind Calais Campbell. He's sitting behind, and that's the beautiful thing about him. He could play the end or he could play outside linebacker. He's sitting behind Arnold Ebiketie, behind a Bud Dupree, behind, him and D'Angelo Malone, they probably right there along with each other. Lorenzo Carter. So guess what? He knows. He knows that if I step onto the field, I'm going to have limited opportunities. And I need to take advantage of every opportunity that I have. I don't know. What was the Adam Sandler movie? Whenever he was raising the kid and he didn't have no business raising the kid, he told the kid to put a chicken nugget in his pocket. So if he gets hungry, he'll have a pocket chicken nugget. That's whenever I find food, because y'all know I'm greedy. You see me doing that all the time. Coach Ronnie will tell you, before we got on the plane to go to Vegas, I was packing my suitcase. I'm like, oh shoot, pocket gummy bears. I got all happy, but then I realized that I didn't plan ahead. Coach Ronnie planned earlier for me. She put some gummy bears in my suitcase so I could have a snacky snack, on the plane or something, or in the airport. But the thing is that this is what Terry Fontenot is doing. He's saying, hey, later on, went Calais Campbell, because he's not going to be here around. He's not going to be around forever. If he moves on, guess what we're going to do? Zach Harrison. If it's a situation where we move on from D. Alford because he wants to get that huge contract and we're not willing to give it to him, he's good, but he's not that good. What are we going to do? We got Clark Atlanta Phillips. These are the types of things that playoff teams do, Bo. These are the types of things that playoff teams do. So, it's one of those cases where this is why I asked, what are we going to learn during OTAs and during training camps? Is anybody going to training camp? Because I know that I'm going to be out there. I think a lot of the content creators are going to be out there too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think John and Mike are trying to go, and Padre. Padre, that's my road dog. But Smitty, he was talking about going. Twisted Torch, Berto, Pound for Pound, all those guys. So there's a lot of people that's talking about going. The question is, what are we going to learn when we get there? Coach Ron, yes, Coach Ron, you're Terry Fontenot in this example. Yes, pocket gummies. Oh man, about whatever says we don't lose 2 to 3 games this year, and of course we lose 1 to the Aints, but the rest of the division get swept like LeBron in the play. Wow, Coach. Like LeBron in the playoffs. Eric Max here says the Super Bowl was given to the Saints because hey man, we can't say that, bro. We can't say that. Those boys, they went out and they played ball. We can't say that. I don't allow Katrina jokes over here because a lot of things happen to those folks. Molly Mall says, you capping low if you think the Falcons will be. Oh yeah, it's going down. It's going down, Molly Mall. It's going down like there's a whale in the boat, Bo. It's going down like there's a whale in the boat. But yeah, so moving forward, the question is, what are we going to learn? What are we going to learn from training camp and from OTAs? There's a few things that we have to look at. Number one, is the offense going to be explosive? Shouts out to JR from Pound for Pound. Me, him, and Toby, we chilled out at training camp last year. And Toby said it himself before the first preseason game, when everybody was getting naked about Marcus Mariota, and Marcus Mariota completed that slant route across the middle of the field to Drake London. I think it went for like 30 yards. Drake London got hurt. Everybody's like, oh, Marcus Mariota, he's looking legit. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm hoping for the best, but at the end of the day, he's still Marcus Mariota. But Toby said it. He said, "Hey, this offense, this passing game, I'm kind of worried about it, Low." I was like, maybe he just got the jitters because he ain't been throwing for the last 4-5 months. Maybe that's what. Nah, it's not the case. It's not the case. The boy literally tried to throw passes from his butt cheeks. He legit wasn't that guy. Now here we are, a year later. You got Desmond Ritter, and y'all seen the OTA film that we did on him, where we were talking about, hey, we can't look at the actual drills where he's throwing to the small square hole. We got to look at the game time situations, and Desmond Ritter looked legit in those particular situations. But once again, it's different whenever the pads come on. It's different whenever it's an actual game time situation, and that's what we're looking for. But that's the main question: is it going to be one of those situations where it's the offense is going to be legitimately legit? That's what we want to know. Well, shouts out to Raymond Collins. I see you in here, Bo. Much love to you, man. J Moss says, Big Low, this is the X anthem this year. Who can I run? Who can I run to? Who can I run to? That's gonna be their anthem, Bo. Look, that was our anthem last year. Constantine, much love to you. Hope you're doing good in here, fam. Hope you're doing good in here. What? Molly Miles. Padre says to Molly Miles, he says, "Hey, when we cook up y'all Little Caesars, run me my cheesy bread expeditiously. Little cheesy bread do be hit a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you." J Ball says extra ranch. We're doing good, Constantine. Much love to you, fam. Bobby Carter's in here. What's going on, family? The Braves are up. Hey, the Braves are on a tear, Bo. These guys are. This might be the best Atlanta Braves team I've ever seen. I know that's blasphemous after living through the 90s, but this Atlanta Braves team is ridiculous, Bo. I ain't never seen nothing like it. About whatever he says, as long as Ritter ain't a turnover ATM machine paying out for no dang on reason, we're going to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm glad that you mentioned that with the Saints coaching staff in the chat, because I came across a stat the other day. And basically it said that Derek Carr, and look, if you're hoping that your quarterback doesn't become a turnover machine this season, make sure that you hit that like button. That you need a way to express it. Just hit that like button for us. But and I appreciate you, Grandizer, asking people to hit that like/subscribe button. As a matter of fact, I think we're like 4 subscribers away from 4,000. So that's, hit that like and subscribe button. Anyway, I seen this stat just the other day. Eric Mack said, y'all can't win with Derek Carr. I seen the stat just the other day, Molly Mall. Check this out. It said Derek Carr has the most combined turnovers between interceptions and fumbles in the last 5 years. That's including last year with the NFL rushing leader. Coming into a new offense. Shouts out to my homeboy Big Q. He says, "Hey man, Derek Carr's gonna be, he's gonna be throwing the ball downfield." I'm okay. You flick that thing downfield, but we all know what happens when you keep pushing that thing downfield, Bo. It's coming back the other way. You have to go from offense to defense. You're gonna hear a whole bunch of people yelling, "Oski, Oski, Oski," as they run into you. First thing they're gonna want to do, what? Hit the quarterback. So it's one of those situations, man. Look, I'm telling you. I mean, Mom says hit that like button like Zion in his prime. Mom. Only thing Zion was in his prime, man, was in between the sheets. That's the only thing he was doing. Shouts out to Coach Wallace, man. Nate Bill's in here. Much love to you. Bully says, Carr finna get wrecked twice a year, man. I tell you, man, they upside down on that car payment, bro. It's not going to be worth it. But the thing is that that's what we're, those are the types of things that we want to see during training camp. That we want to see is Desmond Ridder, is he going to be a turnover machine, kind of like what Coach mentioned earlier? Is it going to be one of those situations where we're going to be worried about him, turning the ball over or not being able to complete passes, getting our playmakers that we spent a whole bunch of draft capital on, getting them the ball, right? I mean, because people say that Bijan Robinson was the best pass catching player for the Texas Longhorns last year. So you're taking him and putting him with the Atlanta Falcons, where you got the Desmond Ridders and the Kyle Pittses and people forgetting about Scotty Miller. I went to OTAs. I seen Desmond Ridder take like 2 shots to Scotty Miller in his limited time behind center. So Scotty Miller is going to be a huge factor. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want to know what this new offense is going to look like, shouts out to my homeboy Terror Artist 404. He actually been putting up simulations on YouTube with the new Atlanta Falcons roster, and this new offense looks legit. It's like you keep hitting them, you keep hitting them in the face, bro. Let's see here. Eric Mack says Vegas gave up on Carr for a reason. And once again, the old coach, the coach who was, the coach thinking he's going to be the saving grace. You can't do that, coach. Sometimes you got to go in a different direction. It's something about these coaches. It didn't work last time. So what we're going to do, let's try it again. What's that song that Ludacris and DTP sample? Let's do it again. Do it again. Why are you trying to recreate that? That's when your ego comes into play. Why are you trying to recreate the past when you know it didn't work? Right? That's the issue that I had with Archie Smith last year. It's like, hey, it didn't work with Marcus Mariota. Why are we trying to recreate the past? Then, I finally came to the realization we didn't have a choice. We didn't have the money. We weren't going to get a starting quarterback for $10 million. Marcus Mariota was the only option that we had. It was like starting the game off, and it's one of those situations where, you got to start off at the lowest possible point, right? So, look, if you're excited about what Desmond Ridder could do and you need a way to express it, you can do that by making sure that you hit that like button. Do that, I would definitely and greatly appreciate that. About whatever says that car got 4 flats.